So, all right, we're going to go through a bit of yesterday. Really big day. Trump in the country, royal family, etc. Lots going on. What stood out for you, Annunziata? Any key moments?
The pomp and pageantry that the British put on is beyond compare. But I think there's something very, very special about the red arrows. And of course, because the Union Jack is red, white and blue, I'm going to be told off it's the Union flag. It is either.
I call it the
technically,
Union Jack.
it's the Union Jack. But so's the Stars and Stripes.
Yeah.
So it looked absolutely perfect visual.
Yeah, Kevin.
The lack of crowds. I agree with the pomp and pageantry and the brilliant marching bands and soldiers, fantastic. But there were no people. Where were the adoring crowds? Well, there wouldn't have been any. And it wasn't security. They just didn't want anyone booing Trump.
Look at this.
They had to keep them away.
Well, to me, this is the image of the day. This just shows the sheer spectacle. That is there were no crowds there. There's no one there, but that's when they laid the table. I don't even know how many people were at that table. That's the banquet at Windsor Castle.
160.
Isn't that amazing? People missing as well. Farage missing. Do you think he should have had Farage there?
Farage commented on this last night and said Starmer doesn't like him, so he wasn't invited. Who knows? Various people were, various people weren't. You've always got a limited guest list.
Wow.
And I can't get het up about it. He's been
We've got Ed Davies' place because the Liberal Democrat leader didn't go.
I bet that was the talk of the whole evening. Was Ed Davey? Yeah.
They were a waiter short. He didn't turn up.
The red carpet was rolled out for the royal visit, and the day was filled with pomp and pageantry, with senior royals hosting Donald and Melania Trump at Windsor Castle. He managed this time. I don't know what goes on with these marching things, because you're supposed not to walk in front of the king, but he did. There are
the king gave him permission. Asked him to.
Okay, there are Annunziata's beloved red arrows. It was a bit windy and blowing. The Trump hair was all over the place, but he clearly enjoyed it. At the banquet, both the king and the president made speeches. And the interesting thing about Trump's speech is that he stuck largely to his script. Even for his inauguration, he was busking all the time. Not at Windsor Castle. Have a look.
But this is truly one of the highest honors of my life. Such respect for you and such respect for your country. We're like two notes in one chord or two verses of the same poem, each beautiful on its own, but really meant to be played together. The bond of kinship and identity between America and the United Kingdom is priceless and eternal. It's irreplaceable and unbreakable.
I've never seen him do this. He stuck to the words. He was sat next to the Princess of Wales and he said this.
Melania and I are delighted to visit again with Prince William and to see Her Royal Highness, Princess Catherine, so radiant and so healthy, so beautiful. It's really a great honor. Thank you.
Okay, he definitely added, so beautiful. That was definitely not in the script, but, you know, a reference to her health, which is, I'm sure, welcome. And listen to this and spot the glaring absence when he talks about the king's son.
His Majesty has also raised a remarkable son in His Royal Highness, Prince of Wales. Really amazing. We've gotten to know you, and I think you're going to have an unbelievable success in the future.
Look at that absolute absence. A son. He has one son, one great son. Are there any others? Where's Harry? Where's Harry?
The other one's left royal duties. I mean,
no, come on.
You make your bed, you lie in it.
Do that. The king spoke of an enduring bond between our nations and also brought in Ukraine.
In 2 world wars, we fought together to defeat the forces of tyranny. Today, as tyranny once again threatens Europe, we and our allies stand together in support of Ukraine to deter aggression and secure peace.
So obviously the Ukraine reference was crucial there because Americans have melted away a bit on Ukraine. Let us speak to 5 News royal correspondent Simon Vigar, who's in Windsor. Had a long old 24 hours, haven't you, Simon? What was it like yesterday?
Hi, Jeremy. Well, I think it went very well, as you've been seeing. And dare I say, I think the President was a little bit nervous when he was making his speech there. As you say, he stuck very closely to the script. Out of his comfort zone a bit at a state banquet like that. The King very much in his comfort zone. And it was really maximum bling, as you've seen from the pictures. A bit of diplomatic pressure there from the king, very gentle, but mentioning the peace efforts that the president is making in various different conflicts. So yes, Ukraine was mentioned there. The day was unprecedented in many ways, the largest guard of honour ever for a state visit, an historic second state visit for an American president. The flypast with the red arrows in the grey skies, unfortunately the cloud was low, so the joint flypast with the US Air Force was called off, but the red arrows did make it. And yes, it was a made-for-TV state visit, as Kevin was saying there. The crowds were kept away, there was fencing up, there were screens up. And that's as much a security issue from the American Secret Service, actually, that they just won't allow one of their presidents to be in an open carriage. And in fairness, Bush, Obama, Biden, they were all in the big limo. They didn't get a carriage ride either.
OK, what's on the agenda today?
Well, shortly, President Trump will be leaving Windsor Castle here. He's heading to Chequers for the business end of this state visit, where he'll be meeting the Prime Minister. So he'll be saying farewell to the King and Queen shortly. Melania, the First Lady, will stay in Windsor a little bit longer. She's got a couple of engagements with Camilla and then the Princess of Wales. With the Princess of Wales, she's going to see the Scouts here on the Windsor estate. So Donald Trump doing the politics. He was in awe of Windsor Castle yesterday, saying what a place. So that pageantry really went down well. But today it's all about politics, the business end of the state visit. Melania is staying here a little bit longer with Catherine, going to see the Scouts, and maybe later on we will see two of the world's most famous women toasting some marshmallows.
Thank you, Simon Weiger. After the break, we'll debate just how important the monarchy is after having kings and queens, but my goodness, they came in useful yesterday. Trump said one of the main reasons he wanted this unprecedented second state visit was to see his friend, King Charles. So let's remind ourselves how integral the royal family was. We've kind of put a bit of a run of celluloid together for you here so we can see the story of the day in pictures. And we start here, the moment the Prince and Princess of Wales greeted President Trump off the helicopter. So Prince William there, Catherine, Melania, big moment. And then a few minutes later, the King and Queen. Trump referring, of course, to King Charles as his close friend. You then have carriage rides through the grounds of Windsor Castle. So you've got this remarkable image, really, of Trump in the golden carriage. You've got Trump with the King, Melania with Queen Camilla, and then Kate and William with the US ambassador and his wife. Then we have this inspection, and the protocols of this is difficult. It went wrong with the Queen before, but apparently this time Trump was told, go in front of me. So there's no confusion, he didn't do anything wrong. And they seem to have a laugh. I'm going to show you the moment when there's a sword. We should be able to see this. Let's have a look. And Charles there, lip readers tell us, said to Trump, mind the sword. That'd be good if King Charles ever did an autobiography. That'd be a good title, wouldn't it? Mind the Sword. They then headed inside Windsor Castle to look at a special exhibition, including artifacts marking American independence from the UK. So we forget some of these places are almost like museums, aren't they? And Trump was, it held his attention. Later, Trump visited Queen Elizabeth's tomb and laid a wreath in private. It's a pretty spectacular place, Windsor Castle, and you've got the chapel there. You'll remember the Queen worshipping in there during her life. And of course, then finally the state banquet, which we referred to, with Trump seated between the Princess of Wales and the King himself. So there we are. That is it. There he was with his... You do not see the Trump cavalcade in white tie very often. My goodness, we put on a show, Kevin. I know you're a Republican. You must today be waking up really embarrassed.
Well, we've got great, magnificent real castles. They've just got Disney castles. But why reward a bully? Somebody who has imposed economic sanctions on the UK, has tried to sell out Ukraine, has preached ethnic cleansing in Gaza, wants to take away Greenland from Denmark, one of our allies, has really gone for Canada, which is in the Commonwealth. Never mind what he's doing with NATO and disrupting that alliance. Why are we giving it a bully a big day out? Why are we doing it?
Well, Annunziata.
But Trump looks out for the American people first. That's why they elected him. That's what they wanted him to do. And that is his job. I just wish we had a Prime Minister who would do the same for our country.
Are you pleased we have a king and
But to the
queen?
extent that I'm delighted we do.
Well, Kevin
and
isn't.
it is a huge part of our soft power, as Keir Starmer is clearly demonstrating, that this is all hugely political and necessary to further the economy and outlook for our country.
Yeah, the Qataris gave Trump a £400 million jet, didn't they?
And
that's
you
probably the
could
cost
hear
of the
in
royal
his voice.
family every year here, once you include security.
You can hear in his voice that material things matter to him less than that. That once in a lifetime, no one else gets it. Special treatment with the historic background.
Annunziata, but
incredible.
as Kevin suggests, to say Trump's record is checkered is an understatement. And what we've done effectively is we've said, you're fine with us. You're fine even if you did a sexual assault or a rape. You're fine if you caused an insurrection.
We've had
You're
dictators.
fine if you went bankrupt 5 times.
We have had dictators have state banquets. That this is not a one-off.
Have we?
Yeah, China.
Okay, Ceausescu had one.
We've now
It
had
was
2.
not like that.
He's been president twice. That this is part of our international diplomacy. It is part of the cachet of associating with the Brits.
Kevin, you've got to go all in with this stuff.
They've played on Trump's vanity and also the fact that his mother was Scottish. So he views the royal family incredibly affectionately, I think, through rose-tinted glasses. I noticed Prince Andrew wasn't around because then he and Trump could have discussed Jeffrey Epstein. I imagine, yes, and Mandelson too. I'll give you that. But what do we get from it? I mean, genuinely, what do we get? All the so-called deals on investment,
better tariffs,
which I would question a lot of those deals. They're all agreed in advance.
There's the discussion on the small nuclear reactors. There's the AI discussion.
They're commercial deals.
They absolutely are. But do you think that the bosses at that dinner weren't equally blown away as Trump was?
What do we get?
But the way, as Trump said in his speech, the way both our countries work best is when we cooperate with each other. And that is what this is about.
In terms of the royal family, and we're discussing the monarchy, and are we now pleased to have a monarchy despite Andrew and all the rubbish? Isn't there, if you've got a monarchy, you've got to use it. Yeah. And surely the king should have said something like, I regret the fact that America has let down Ukraine. He should have said something more florid because he didn't really say anything.
No. The king can't say anything. The king is not there to be political. He is there to be an advert for our country, not to be the politician. Trump is an elected politician. The king is a head of state who has no political power.
Who reads the script that is given to him by Downing Street and Forum.
That has to be non-political.
Hang on.
That is part of his...
He'll have insisted...
Except for when he reads out on behalf of his government, which is not what his role was in the state banquet.
He will no doubt have insisted the environment was inserted in that
speech. And he made very certain that he mentioned the wonders of nature and national parks.
He
did not go down the route of climate change or those sorts of environmental...
He's very political in that British upper class way.
He's become less political since he became king. I mean, he used to be much more so when he was prince, arguably.
Well, no, he
used
was.
to
because
slate
you have to be
new
as
buildings
king.
and stuff.
And we saw all these letters. And,
the spider letters.
And we know he's still... cheesed off, that fox hunting is banned.
Yeah. Janice in Essex, are you delighted to have a monarchy today?
Absolutely. I sat here pumped up with pride.
Well, clearly, I don't see Trump looking nervous very often. He genuinely looked a little bit nervous, like he was almost... Yeah, don't you think?
I didn't know whether he was not feeling very well. It was a bit cold out there. He'd had a flight. But I actually am so proud of what we put on. And I know Kevin doesn't like it. But can I please say one more thing? The deals that we're going to get, we are not going to have the energy to be able to support those great big data centres. I worked in one 20 years ago, so I know they're going to be massive. And also, could I please say, that menu, I'd have run down to McDonald's. Why didn't we have Scottish fare? Pheasant,
that was a
partridge,
thing from, I think,
salmon,
that menu in the
venison,
quiz.
beef.
Yeah, no, I hear what you say. I mean, if they said they served Trump with a burger, you'd think, well, that's more like it. Why didn't we have some classy burgers?
I'm going to assume the chickens were from Sandringham, seeing it says Norfolk.
Well,
I'm going to guess they were his own chickens.
I think that question we had was from 2019, actually, as it happens. But but I mean, I can't remember what he was served last night, but it was not chicken.
It was
McNuggets.
Norfolk chicken.
Right.
Chicken.
Oh, okay. I thought I read out
posh
2019.
chicken and ice cream, but they would have coordinated that with the White House. What will he eat? What will he not?
What does he like?
Well, and of course, they may not eat it. They may just push it around their plate.
Does he know what Norfolk is? Norfolk chicken.
I'm not sure how that really matters.
Has it got golf courses?
It'll matter more to.
Okay, of course he does, because he knows this country. This is the thing. Yeah. We forget. Although he's very American, Trump is slightly Scottish.
Well, yes, because of his mother.
Half Scottish.
His father was the son of a German migrant.
Yeah, doesn't mention that much.
But of course, I get a bit when he talks about the English-speaking world. Because with the way he approaches life, that is shunning other people. That's what it is. I mean, there's a lot of other democracies around the world. They're not English-speaking.
Janice, thank you so much for your call. Let's talk a bit more about whether we're delighted. Today we realise why we have a royal family. Christine in Hampshire, hello.
Oh, hello, Jeremy.
Hi. What do you think? Are you very pleased we've got a royal family today?
No, I'm like Kevin, a Republican. I cannot believe that in a Christian country like Wales that we have this privileged family with so much wealth, so many homes, and yet they are entirely selfish. And how much did all that cost the taxpayer last night? Not to mention the red arrows. And yet fences were put round, and the poor old peasants weren't even allowed to get anywhere near them. So.
It's funny. I mean, also to have the Secret Service say we can't allow anyone near. Well, you allowed a guy to sit on a roof with a rifle a few months ago. I mean, hello. So, Christine, you're not pleased that we've got you're not saying this now justifies the money on the royals or anything like that?
No, I'm 80 now, and unfortunately, I will never live to see a Republican country. But where's Oliver Cromwell when you need him? Sorry.
All right, thank you. But the French can't do it. The French, when he came to see them, they had their military band do silly walks.
You mean play punk music?
Yes.
And Trump was incredibly impressed. I'm not going to argue he was impressed.
Don't do that with a military band.
But you can wow people in other ways.
Yeah, they played, what is it, Daft Punk or something?
Yeah,
like Pharrell, they played Get Happy.
When Ozzy Osbourne died, our soldiers played one of his tracks. I mean, I think that you can have military bands do that, and they can, if they're a good band, do it very well.
Right.
What didn't work so well was when Trump had his march past.
The march. Well, you need to be trained to march.
But Trump was drooling only the other week over the Chinese, Russian and North Korean leaders at a huge military parade. If we'd have sent a load of tanks and guns, he would have probably been as happy, possibly happier.
I do think it's not so much about Trump being celebrated here. It's about him realising all of his wrongdoings were expunged last night. They no longer count. The sex, the money, the insurrection, all of it's gone. He's as white as a sheet now. After the break, we're taking more of your calls on whether Trump... Now, more calls on whether Donald Trump's second state visit proves we need the monarchy, because they have wooed and schmoozed him like crazy. Marie in Glasgow, hello.
Hello.
Do you think to yourself, this is why we have a king?
No, and I'm embarrassed to say I'm British. I'm actually Scottish, but I'm embarrassed to say I'm British. I listened to his speech, and he turned around and says, Prince Charles is sitting next to him, and he turns around and says, you've got one good son. Whether they're a stranger or not, he's got two sons.
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
And he spoke up.
Yeah, it's like they forgot to type in something. Yeah, he should have said you've raised two great boys and I can see one here. It was a bit unnecessary, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Apart from that, everything all right?
Everything's fine, but I'm just astonished that he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
It just reiterates the fact that Harry still thinks he's a spare. No wonder.
Kevin.
Is it,
When his father sits there.
but Mary, isn't that
and says nothing.
Hang on.
Isn't that Trump all over? And we've just, in the UK, we've tried to, like, royal wash him and make him...
Royal wash him. That's a good... Is that your phrase? That's very good.
Yeah, sorry.
He's been royal washed.
It happens occasionally.
Yeah.
And we're trying to make all these past sins, crimes, wipe them away, make them all acceptable. And even when you do that, he's like, as you say, he's offensive. You just can't help it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Marie. Thanks so much. Diana in Lincolnshire, hi.
Hello.
What a name. What a relevant name. We've got dear old Diana. How are you?
Well, I'm absolutely fine, my love. Thank you for asking.
Did you watch him being, what is the phrase, king washed? Did you think it was okay
I think it's absolute nonsense. This. Our royal family are a huge bridge between politics and society. What they did yesterday was far better than all of these people who want to throw stones and scream about this and scream about that, because it just pushes the man back and back. Now, we did not invite him here as Donald Trump. We invited him here as the head of the free world, America, who have voted him in twice, and that's the respect we give him. Everything else must be aside until he's not the president of America. And I feel that what the King said yesterday, reminding him of our past, reminding him how we stand against people like Putin, was far more important than these silly little digs.
All right,
I can't
all right,
remember
Diana,
the
brilliant. Good shout. Thank you. Thank you. Jeanette, we're loving these pictures of the parade. It was a bit of a grey, overcast day, wasn't it? I suppose they're lucky it didn't rain, because you can't take a brolly on a parade. Jeanette in Hertfordshire, hi.
Oh, hello, Jeremy. Good morning.
Now, where are you on this matter of whether we say, yes, thank God we've got a monarchy, unlike the French?
Do you know what, Jeremy? I've been a royalist all my life, but with the reign of King Charles, I find it changing, and I think a lot of people are losing support for the royal family. I love the Queen, I love Kate and William, but I think the reign of King Charles is not going very well, and I thought yesterday was a complete embarrassment. I agree with Kevin. We were entertaining a narcissist.
Let me bring this to Annunziata. What do you say to Jeanette?
He is the democratically elected leader of our biggest ally, and we have to respect the American people. We do that by respecting their choice of president.
But what was it? Entertaining a narcissist.
God, name me a world leader who's probably not got narcissistic tendencies. It's a very strange job want to do. But
Nelson Mandela.
I think there are egos in all politicians, and how far they go depends on the person.
But they're not all the same, though, Annunziata, are they? I mean, look, he's a sexual predator. You know, he's a sexual predator. We have embraced, taken into there, fawned, slavered over a sexual predator.
Absolutely his background, and they elected him. Our respect is to his office.
All right. Jeanette, thank you. Howell in Pembrokeshire, hello.
Hello.
What do you think? I was just watching the helicopter pictures again. William, maybe when William comes in, it will be more glamorous, but what do you think?
Well, I think it was a rather low-key visit. Landing a helicopter in the home park is not, doesn't exactly expose him to the public, which is one of the points of a state visit. The main point, of course, is because we want something from him, and that has always been the case with state visits.
But what we've got seems to be a lot of promises from people like Google and Facebook or Meta or whatever to spend some money here. That's nothing to do with Trump.
No, but I mean, he is, as many people have said before, he is a democratically elected leader of the third world. We've had lots of pretty good hoods here on state visits because we wanted something from them. I remember...
That's it, Kevin. And in the end, it's jobs for your readers, people who read the Mirror.
There are going to be many jobs here. It's profits for US companies, ultimately. But yes, some people will be quite employed, but they're not coming here as philanthropists. But I think, Howells, you touched on something quite important here. Because when you look beyond the pomp and the ceremony and the hype, they've actually shortchanged a very gullible narcissist, because the cherry on a cake of any really big state visit is addressing both houses of Parliament. Obama did it. Mandela did it. Lots of other people did it. Even the French president did it recently. But they managed to time this visit by Trump when Parliament, certainly the House of Commons part, isn't sitting, so he couldn't get it. And he's bought it. He's not as sharp and clever as he thinks, Trump.
Didn't Starmer organise that purposefully?
Yeah.
So that
Possibly,
his
yeah.
own MPs
But he shortchanged
wouldn't
him.
be rude to Trump.
Well,
That it would
Trump would rather be with a
jeopardise-
king than with the sort of flotsam and jetsam of the House of Commons, wouldn't it? There's no doubt. Hal, thank you. Thomas in London, hi.
Hello, Jamie. Morning.
Hi. Are you feeling excited about this?
No, not at all. I was embarrassed watching the performance last night. I was up to the Queen dying a royalist in a way. It ended when she went. I don't think she would have behaved as Charles did last night. I was watching William, and I've got sons, and I would have been deeply embarrassed watching my father pay homage almost to a president in front of me. It was embarrassing.
Thank you, Thomas. Thanks for all your calls on this. We'll take a few more after the break as well, because we've got so many people. We're just saying, are we very pleased today we have a monarchy to do a banquet like that with all the Norfolk chicken? Later, we'll be asking whether we need to bring in more 20-mile-an-hour zones, but we'll just take a couple more calls on Trump and the King. Charles Trump. Peter Essex, hello. Peter in Essex.
Oh, hello. Nice to see you again.
And you, Peter, what do you think?
Going to say many countries have monarchies. But they choose to call them presidents. They have no democracy, but we share our democracy with a royal family, and I approve of them. I think they're.
So you say countries like, for example, Ireland or Israel, although they have presidents, not kings, aren't any more democratic than us?
Oh. I'm not sure that I want to go down that. But I'm just thinking of North Korea. Oh, there's so many countries which have got kings. They are in charge, and they are terrible. Whereas we share our democracy with.
But we've
kings.
got, so North Korea is a good example of a sort of republic that obviously is not very pleasant. But then again, you've got there've been bad kings recently. I'm trying to think.
What, around?
Well, in the last 50 years.
Well, the Spanish have had corruption resignations, haven't they?
Well, it
They
wasn't
don't have
that
power.
bad.
I think that the point Peter's trying to make is that if we didn't have a king without the power, but doing the trappings, the pomp and circumstance, we would have a president who was taking all of that.
Someone would have to live.
And we have a separation of those two things, and that is a good thing.
Look, our monarchy, it's constitutional. It's a constitutional monarchy. Peter's right. Its powers are limited. I would say it legitimises inequality and unearned power and wealth and position. There's a lot of negatives to it. But they are descended from warlords, but we curb them. But you look at Ireland's going to have an election now. Ireland's going to have an election to decide who they would like as their president. He'll do the meet and greet. He'll do all that constitutional stuff. And I think that's a much preferable system. If Charles Windsor wishes to stand in an election to be the meeter and greeter of the UK, he's very welcome to do so. Let's see if he gets elected.
All right, just some more calls. Caroline in Lancashire, what do you think? Is it a good day for our monarchy?
I particularly was not interested in watching any of it yesterday. I have no interest in monarchy whatsoever.
But you called it.
Don't wish any of them any harm, but I'm totally with Kevin down the Republic route. I was so bored by everything. Every time I turned on the news yesterday, it was all Trump and monarchy. So what I did instead was turn the television off, and I finished my book, Murder on Line 1.
Did you guess the killer? You lovely person.
Right near the very end, just before I thought, I think I know where this might be.
Do I do a
going.
heart sign for my reader? Thank you, Caroline. Bless you.
Thoroughly enjoyed it, but I think it's time to end monarchy. And can I just give a shout to somebody else whose books I read, who is very good, is Norman Baker, the ex-MP. He's a great authority.
Lib Dem.
And
How nice.
he tells. Sorry?
No, how nice to have a little book slot here. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the things we get taught in school about monarchy are all the good stuff, or, you know, a little bit about Henry VIII or whatever. Reading Norman Baker's books, listening to him on podcasts, etc., has educated me so much that it now, you know, makes me understand.
You're not related to him. You're not married to him. It's just
not at all, no one.
Okay, good. So well, he's got. Thank you, Caroline. He's also got a rock band, Norman. He's a very talented guy.
He is.
He's a loss, actually.
He is a loss to Westminster.
To Westminster, yeah.
But he's probably happier in himself.
Well, I think so. He's always a chummy guy. Liked him. Yeah. Let's remind you what's still coming up on the show in a moment.